about social media, and she is a lifetime entrepreneur and really gives her passion into what she's doing, and to me very authentic. And I learn from her every day something new. So I'm really looking forward to be with her today for this hour. Questions, we would like to take them to at the end. Unless I said before something with understanding of the content, then leave a comment and then we can come in with the Norwegian explanation. Other than that, I would just like to thank Runa again for joining us and give the word to Runa.
Excellent. Thank you so very much, and welcome everybody. I am so excited to be part of this wonderful webinar that Anna Maria asked me to set up, dedicated for my fellow coaches in Norway. What a beautiful thing. I'm gonna go to my slides here. The purpose of this webinar is to help coaches like you to see how you can actually get tons of people to love you and your coaching business simply by being yourself. I think always that's a topic that I find myself to be very interesting topic. Can I actually be successful simply by being who I am? It's a question that I have been asking myself, obviously, and it's a question that I have been researching for the past 7 years as a professional coach, coaching people from all over the world. I have asked myself this question while I'm talking to people, while I'm coaching people that are professionals in different aspects of their lives, and yes, I've come to this conclusion. It is actually something that we should be looking at, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. But before we start, I would really like to ask you to think about yourself and your own coaching business. And on this special hour that I'm going to be with you today, may I ask you to think and write down for yourself. Now, what would you really like to see different in your coaching business today? What would you like to be different in your business today? So write down your answer in front of you. What would you really like to be different? What is the thing that you would really like to learn today? And when you dwell on that question, it's a good thing to ask yourself as well, what's been stopping you till now to do that, to achieve whatever it is that you feel is missing in your business today? All right. I have to be a coach to ask questions, right? Anyway, when I was planning for this webinar and knowing how busy you must be, and at the same time knowing myself, and I know that I can spend hours talking about this topic, I'm extremely passionate about it. I asked myself, all right, Runa, what would you really like your audience to take away from this webinar? And my answers were threefold. I would love to see you understand the importance of building your business from a solid ground. And then I'm talking about the brand called you. I would also love it if I could inspire you to start immediately to think about how you can implement the 3 things that are the personal branding, the 3 C's in personal branding. And I would also would be extremely joyful if I would know that whatever we are doing today and my input with you today could actually create an action step for you so that you can transform your business and avoid the 3 most common things that most coaches, I think, fall into. So are we ready? Are we ready? And I want to tell you that we do have comments on the video below, so please use the opportunity to ask questions even during my presentation. I will try to look as much into seeing the questions as I go, but anyway, I know that Anna Maria is going to help me out as well. Just a little bit about me. So who is Rúna? I would say, frankly, and now I'm not going to say what my profession is, but if I'm going to describe myself, I would say that I'm a creative, fast-forward thinking entrepreneur who believes in the power of personal leadership and gender diversity. That is really the core Rúna. And apart from that, by being the fast-forward thinking entrepreneur and believing in the power of personal leadership and gender diversity, I have founded a personal branding site that we called Branded. It's a program that I founded in 2010 with my business partner. Solely, it actually came out of one of the things that came out of the economic crash in Iceland, talking about that things can't happen, good things can't happen out of an economic crash. But that's a program that we've been giving to established business owners, not only here in Iceland, but they have either from all over the world come to Iceland to participate, or we even went to different countries to give that program there. I'm a creator of best practice leadership program. It was actually got that wonderful award this summer called Discover Your X Factor. And I'm one of the founding and steering committee member of ATL Europe. That stands for the Association of Transformational Leaders in Europe. It's the association from that comes directly from TLC in the USA. Maybe some of you know of that one. It's a foundation that Jack Canfield founded in 2005, I believe. And now we've just created a European association for people who want to bring more heart-based leadership in the European business world. Apart from that, I work as an international leadership and personal branding speaker, as a coach and consultant. And as you can maybe see by now, I love to motivate and unleash people's leadership skills. That's really when my heart starts to beat. And let's start. Enough of me. I would like to remind you right this instant that if you didn't know it by now, you're definitely going to know it after this seminar. You are a brand. Whatever you have done to this day, whatever you have not done, is the brand that people know you of today. And when it comes to branding and the importance of branding, fact is that people, our clients, they buy from other people they know, they like, and they trust. That's basically why we go ahead and we do any purchases. It's because there's something there, a product or a service that we like, we know about, and we trust it. And you as a brand is then because when we look at it that way, you can see how important it is, I hope, that people who are your clients the need for them to know you, to like you, and to trust you. But let's go just a little bit into branding altogether. When we talk about branding, we are talking about a service or a product that promises something to their clients. And you as a brand, it is your promise to your network and customers. It really is something that you are telling them what they can expect from buying your services. And it is not only what they can expect by being one of your clients, but you need to be very clear there. You also have to tell them what you don't do. So it really makes it, being clear there is really important. I'm going to go further into that later about the clarity, how important it is for us to be clear. Your brand is really the thing that differentiates you from your competitors. It's the thing that makes you and your brand, your coaching business different. Why should they come to you and not to someone else? We are in a competitive world. We live in a competitive world. And this is the way I think of it. We are every individual. We are unique, and we have different stories. We have different background, and that alone makes us unique. So a brand is what you are, and it's about who you are. It is also about who you want to be, and at the end of the day, it is really how other people perceive you. And let's just go a little bit further in here, and I'm gonna want to talk about, if we look at cars as an example. When you see this beautiful car, that's like well, it's really like a toy car. There is a certain character that comes along. It's a certain, when you look at it, you get a certain feeling. That car is representing something that you can trust. If you see a speedy car, like a Jaguar, that car, the character of that car says that it's fast. It is something that goes very quickly up to 150 or more kilometers. It's all of that things that that you can trust. If you buy a Ferrari, you can trust that it will take you very quickly to one place to another. At the same time, it also tells you what it does not do. A two-seated Ferrari will not take your whole family, as an example, all the way. So a brand is a character, and really at the end of that, if you think about a character, a brand is actually feeling. It's a feeling. And when we are talking to other people, it is that feeling that we leave behind in people's minds is what they will remember. And that's the thing that we are to them. And I really always love what Maya Angelou said. She said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So everything that we do as coaches, when we talk to our potential clients, or when we are doing blog, or when we are being interviewed, or we go to a networking event, or whatever it is, being authentic and being really truly who we are, and step into the role of being the gift that you are to this world, is that feeling that we are leaving behind. So it's a good and a great thing to ask yourself, what feeling do I want to leave behind in people's minds? What is it that I want them to think about when they think about me? Good question, isn't it? And this is the thing. When we are building a really good coaching business, we have to make up our mind. Are we going to become an ordinary coach? A coach that is like everyone else? Or are we going to stand out and become a powerful brand? The coaching brand in your field that people will first think about. And that really links to, what do you stand for? What is it that you do that is different than what anyone else does? And this is a decision. The moment you decide, I am going to build a powerful brand that's going to be #1 in people's minds when they think about someone who is offering the service that you are serving, bingo, you become a powerful brand. So it's really in your mindset there. All right. Now, let's go into the pitfalls that I see so many coaches fall into, and how actually the successful ones are doing things differently. You see, they are doing things differently, the ones who are very successful. And I'm going to share with you some of the things there. Successful coaches, they know that it's important for them to brand their coaching business from their heart. I am pretty sure as coaches, that's what we are doing in most cases. It's something that is really meaningful to us, to give our services to coach people and help them to unleash their fullest potential. What they do, however, these really successful ones is that they are tapping into their personal values, their personal visions. They know where they want to see themselves in the future, and that their future vision is extremely clear. They have missions. There's something there that they truly want to change. There's something out there that they truly want to change, and they want to stand for that change. And they, by doing that, by sticking to their values, following their visions, on their mission, they are building an authentic character around their professional brand, their personal brand. You see, coaching isn't just a good business plan. It needs to have a heart. When you're passionate about the things that you're doing, not only will it help you overcome all the little obstacles on the way, if we can call it that, but it also makes you authentic. And authentic coaching is something that will definitely give you a head start. Secondly, successful coaches, they dare to be different. They have found out their niche. They have, because of their mission and their passion and what they want to accomplish with their coaching business means a lot to them. They are unafraid to stand out from the crowd, to be different. And they are showing constantly what makes them different. They're using different ways that they can use to promote their brand. And by doing that, they are showing really in an outstanding way what they stand for and what they mean and why it's important for them to give that business, or to give their service to their clients. Yes, I say dare to be different. The mega author Seth Godin, he talks about this importance and the importance to be different in his book, The Purple Cow. If you haven't read the book, The Purple Cow, I highly recommend that you do. It's a fun reading to read. And here's a little secret that I want to share with you. You see, we are often searching for that purple cow thing. And being a purple cow is a bit like the zebra horses that you see that on the video. But when most of us do, we fall into the trap to copy somebody else's cow. We see that someone has done something that is different. You think, wow, hey, that's different. I want to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And you believe that you can actually show your uniqueness this way. It has to be authentic. And if it isn't really you, we as people, we instantly feel that there's something fakey about that thing. And we fall out of the uniqueness. So when I'm talking about you can actually find what makes you unique and your business unique is really when you start to dig into the brand called you and discover what I called your X factor. And that's what makes you and your business coach's business unique. And you need to show that in everything that you do. I was training a bunch of really fun, loving, inspiring coaches the other day. And as you know, it's one of the most fun thing ever is to work with other coaches. And these coaches, when they started the process, they were all a bit in the field of, oh, I'm an executive coach, or I'm a business coach, or I'm a health coach, or whatever. But they really hadn't found what makes them different from all the other executive coaches, or all the other business coaches, or career coaches, or whatever. And what makes them unique is really their story, their mission, their passion, the things that they will always stand for. And when we found out with the group of coaches there, when we had figured it out, and each and every one of them had figured out what really made them different, and that they found out as well that their expertise is something that there are so many people out there that are desperately looking for what they can offer. That's when they start to say, hey, yes, I can see if I actually start to talk about myself and talk about the things that makes me different, that makes me unique, and I do it in an authentic way, it's just something that is evolving as I am growing myself as a coach. Now, the third thing that successful coaches do is that they are true to themselves. Their brand is something that is a visual, that they show that visual thing everywhere they go. They understand that a brand is not only visual, it's emotional, it's rational, and it's a cultural image that you associate with a company or a product. In this case, it's you as a coach. And I said this before, and I will say that probably a couple of times more, but people do buy from other people they know, like, and trust, okay? So when we are talking about the brand called you, we're talking about what people say about you. So when you are very clear on who you are, what you stand for, and what sort of a service you're giving, chances are that people in your network will start to talk about you. And they will start, when they need your expertise in your coaching field, you will pop up in their mind when you are not in the room, but the subject pops up. A well-created brand has then, as I said before, a well-created character. And when you know your character, you can use the voice of that character in everything that you are doing, online, offline, in your marketing material, in your business card, on your website, on your videos, everywhere. You see, okay, if you just look at other big brands around this issue here, if you think, as an example, you think of Volvo as the Swedish brand, you might think safety. When you think of Nike, you might be thinking either of Tiger Woods or their tagline, just do it. When you think of IBM, you might be thinking Big Blue, technology. The fact that you remember the brand name and you have some sort of a positive association with that brand, it makes your product selection easier, and it enhances the value and satisfaction you get from the product and the services. And that's what your clients are basically doing. Because when we talk about the brand called you, we are talking about what people do remember from being with you. Remember, I said earlier, the feeling that you gave them. And that's really the thing that sits with them. Now, good business branding and good coaching branding needs consistency. And then this is actually something that I think many of us think can not really quite understand. Why do we need that? You can ask yourself the question, why does Coca-Cola need to, is it advertising all the day, all the time? We all know Coca-Cola. But they are consistently reminding us that they are there. We might not even drink Coca-Cola. But when the time comes that there is something that we will need to buy some sort of a soda, Coca-Cola pops up in our mind. So successful coaches, they are consistently showing what they stand for in everything they do. And it's a long run, and therefore building a strong brand resists on consistency. It really does. A consistent brand gets noticed. This recognition both brings you a constant business with your current clients, but it is also through the word of mouth, as your current clients will talk about you and your promise of value. Now, companies tend to grow organically and often introduce different services along the way, and that's going to be the same thing with you. It is essential to take a look at your brand over time and ensure that your branding is consistent, is true to your business. So researching how your brand is perceived by your audience, that can bring a highlight into issues that you never knew that existed. I can tell you as an example, when I'm working with my clients and I'm identifying their personal brands, I use a certain platform called 360 Reach Brand Assessment. That's a tool that really gives my clients clarity how other people see them and how they see themselves. And then we can start to compare, and from their vision and from their passions and what they want to do, they can actually start to see where they need, which of their brand character do they need to strengthen, and in some cases, which brand character do they need to weaken to get to their main goal in their business. So knowing as well, not only you knowing who you are, but also to be aware of how other people perceive you is essential, and it can only make you stronger as a coach to get really good clarity on that. All right. I am into the 3 C's in personal branding. The 3 C's in personal branding are, well, some of it that I've already talked about. Well, probably all 3 of them I've talked about so far. But I can't really leave this webinar without talking about them very clearly. T. Harv Eker, if anyone knows him, his quote is, "Clarity is power." And the more I work in this field, the more I realize that being clear is an unbelievably powerful as a business person. Being clear what I am, and in everything that I do, I can be very clear on where I'm going. The minute we start to go around, beat around the bushes and say to everyone, oh, I can coach everyone, and my business is just, my coaching business suits everybody, it really dilutes you, and it really doesn't give you the brand perspective that you should have. Allow yourself, step into your leadership role and find what it is that you are and be clear on it. Tell other people who you are, what it is that you want to achieve with your coaching business, and do that consistently. Do that in everything that you do. And with regular blogs, with either setting up your own webinar or teleseminar or interviews or whatever you can do, just keep on giving that message out there with clarity so that there's always the same feeling that comes along, always the same message, that at the end of the day, when someone needs you and your expertise, you will pop up. As simple as that. Being clear and being consistent is actually quite. I quite like how you can toy around that thing. Your brand attributes. If you are a lively coach that is very creative and full of fire, there are certain fonts that really can represent you, that really can push and give your brand attribute consistency. And the same goes with colors. Find the color that represents your character, so that when people come to your website or they see your not your credit card, see your business card, they instantly get that feeling, here is someone that I think is an interesting one. I would like to get to know him or her better. The same thing goes if you're an introvert. If you are an introvert person and you are maybe a very serious person, find fonts, find colors that represent that seriousness, that consistency there. You can, and if you are yourself, if you're uncertain with what will really represent who you are, well, the moment you go through really a little process of figuring out who you really are and what it is that you really want to represent and be out there, then there are so many things that you can either find on the internet, or you can use service like the services that I am providing to help you out on these little bits. But really, it just gives it the whole package, and people will absolutely love you and love what you're doing because they know they can trust you are who you are and what you promise them to do. Let me see. One of the things that I do myself is that I have created what I call the personal brand strategy on a page, and I am doing that really to help my clients to figure all these out, all these things that I talked about, the passion, their values, their mission, their future vision, what really lights their fire, what are their purpose as a coach, what are their true gift, what is it that they have that nobody else has. And I do that with helping now to fill out this form, basically, and it's a really fun process. And normally when I'm doing this, I am doing this on a 19-minute private coaching call. And I thought, since I had this special opportunity to be with you today, to offer you to try this out on a very special deal for only $160 US instead of $350. And including is my free ebook, Branding Your X Factor. Now I want to show, take a look if there are any, at this point, any questions that you would like to pop for me. Any questions at all? Anna, do you know of any questions? Any?
Hi. Yeah, hi. I decided to join you. I was wondering, you say that we already are a brand.
Yeah.
Well, some of us are just maybe starting our own business as a coach, or some has developed further.
Mm-hmm.
for those who are maybe starting, what is the easiest and simplest thing to do to start? Just, you know.
To start their coaching business?
The image. I mean, we don't realize what the image we are giving out.
Yeah.
What is the essential thing that needs to be there that we can realize what kind of brand we are giving? If I can put myself
I
there.
think, and this is actually something that I think we coaches, we are probably ahead of many other fields in the business world, and that is asking questions. And I would highly recommend that we ask ourselves the questions: what's the purpose of my coaching practice? What sort of a service, what sort of a people do I want to serve? And take a look at that. I would also tell you, like I was to start with, ask your friends, ask your family the simple question: what do you see, or what do you see as my strengths? Ask them. And I do that in my trainings. I ask people to ask their friends and their families, who am I? What is it that you see in me? What are my strengths? Take a look at it. If you just ask 3 people, what are the things that they are saying, that the common thing that they are all saying? I bet they're saying the same thing. And I also think that it's extremely likely that some of the things that they're saying is, of course, something that you are really well aware of, but you think it's nothing special because, hey, this is what you are, and it's just very easy peasy for you to do this. But then you will very likely as well see other things that might surprise you. And and if you just look at that as a character, as an attribute that you can then use in your business, when you might be looking at what sort of a website I'm going to create, what sort of a business card am I going to create. And then just look at that and Google around, what does character that has this strength? What sort of a color should he bring? What sort of a font should he take in? And then you can start from there. Does that answer your question? Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. If that's if there are no other questions, I would like. Okay, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, I went mute. And
Yeah.
if I want to change the image, now I'm aware of what I've been giving, but I'm not satisfied with it.
Yeah.
When can I expect my customers to come around?
So you're talking. What you're saying is, okay, you want to rebrand your business.
Yes.
And you want to, and you are thinking, oh, how can my customers then come around?
Yes, knowing that now I have changed, but no.
Now you change, maybe, yeah. Well, if you, that is like, you probably will evolve there, and you will need to give yourself some time to to think about the strategy that you want to use to take that process from the first step to the last step. So can I ask you to mute while you're writing? So because everything that we are doing there, it takes time. I wouldn't really say that you are doing things really drastically, but you are slowly, surely, you're moving from one place to another. I can, as an example, if I just take my own branding, when I found it in 2007, I founded a global website community for women entrepreneurs called Connected Women. And I remember when at that time, I was not aware of personal branding, not at all. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to create this platform. My passion was to help women business owners to promote themselves, be more visible online, use the internet, etc., etc. And I thought, I'm just going to be someone on the site. I had a logo that was just the business logo. On my Twitter account, I used my Connected Women logo, and I talked like I was a corporation. I didn't talk like I was a human being. And you can guess that was the character of the brand that I was representing. But you know what? I noticed that when there was actually a friend of mine who pointed this out to me and said, Runa, why are you doing this? You are Connected Women. You are that voice. And when I understood that I could really be authentically the voice behind the brand Connected Women, and I could really just talk from my heart to people out there and share the things that I thought was interesting, then my followers on Twitter, they increased dramatically. I even got listed on a website, the Forbes.com, as one of 20 women and business women that they recommended to follow on Twitter. So, and I could really see that by the time when I authentically just went from being someone that I thought I was supposed to be into the things that I just simply am, that's when people started to pay attention. I wasn't like everyone else. And so I highly recommend that, therefore, as you can see from my own experience. Any other questions?
No, Runa, I can't see any more questions. I can see any questions on the comments box, but
okay.
For me, this was really helpful. But for many, it can be kind of big. For us coaches working with others, we work with ourselves, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
And for us, maybe it's not such a big of a question to say, who am I? But I don't know.
Well, it's a bit, sometimes maybe a little bit controversial. You know, it is who we are, and what a joy to get to know ourselves a little bit better. But anyway, I am thrilled that, and thank you, Anna Maria, for these questions. I would love to connect with these participants that are on this call. You can see my links to my various social media profiles. Feel free to send me an invite, and I will be happy to give you any, well, even personal questions that pop up. I brutally want to use the opportunity as well for those who would like to get to know a little bit more about personal branding and get weekly tips in my newsletters that I do. You can sign up for my newsletter and you get then weekly personal branding tips starting every Monday by something that is new and fresh, helping you to become even greater coach. And with that, I would like to thank all of you for participating, and look really forward to hear from you again. Coaches, you are special, and let everyone else knows that you are special. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Runa. Thank you very much for your great enthusiasm and authenticity for this. I thank you very much on behalf of ICF Norway. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.